All right. Welcome to the Blue Star Report. We changed our name from Pigskin Predictions to Blue Star Report. Kind of didn't fit what we were wanting to do. Last year we did a lot of prediction videos.
Yeah.
And this year we want to do more report videos. You know, we want to talk more about the games and after the games and things like that. So anyway, change our name to Blue Star Report. So you guys, if you're a subscriber already, then it's just automatically going to change.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And if you like this video, like it. And if you don't like this video, you can like it. And let us know, give us some comments. We've got a few guys that comment several times, but we did a video last week. I think it was What's Our Weakest Link? It's got Parsons on it. If you haven't seen that, go back to our channel and click on that video and watch it, because it talks about what our weakest links are, where we stand, what's going on. And surprisingly enough, I guess Jerry Jones and some of the boys have decided that maybe we were right. Maybe they watched our video. I doubt it, but
maybe. Jerry's like, hey,
this boys know what they're talking about. Because surprisingly enough, the exact positions we decided that we needed some major help in, they went and got some free agent help. So this video, we're going to go over the new
the updated roster,
the updated what do you call it? Depth chart. We'll update the depth chart and talk a little bit about what we can do to improve even from here.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about who they picked up in free agency. Last week, our number 1A and B in free agency, what we thought on our depth chart was lacking the most was linebacker and running back. And surprisingly enough, they picked up 2 free agents in both of those 2 spots.
Yep.
So we figured linebacker was our 1A. We because it looked horrendous last week. It did. It looked horrible. And this week, they picked up Kenneth Murray Jr.
He's solid. I watched film on him.
Yep.
He looks like he's going to be a starter. Him and Sanborn look like they could be starters.
I like that Jack Sanborn. That just sounds like a linebacker to me.
Yeah.
That's how that boy about to get busy. You know what I'm saying? Chicago, if you listen to some of the reporters that report on when they lost him, they were heartbroken.
Yeah.
Because they were like, that dude was going to be a superstar someday, and Cowboys might have been one of the steals of the draft, or of the free agency, I should say.
That was an Eberflus guy.
Yeah, he was. Eberflus was there when they drafted him.
Yeah.
Apparently.
He was undrafted.
Well, when they picked him up.
Yeah.
And so now our linebacker room is...
It looks a lot better.
Kenneth Murray Jr., Jack Sanborn. I don't like the Clark part. I'm not real up on Clark. I used to be, but I just not real high on him. We got Louisville, which I am high on. I like him. And Overshown, which I'm high on, but he's not going to be back till December, maybe November.
What I heard was middle of the season.
I'd be shocked if he comes back in the middle of the season, but I'll be happy if he come back. But I want him to get healthy.
Yeah, all the way.
100%.
You stay, go,
get right, and then come back like you
100%.
Yeah, because he's a superstar.
Yeah,
and Kendricks, like if you look up the depth chart for the Cowboys, like Kendricks is not on there anymore. I really wish they'd bring him back, and if nobody picks him up here in the next couple of days, it wouldn't surprise me if Cowboys sign him for a cheap contract and bring him back. They're just trying to see. They probably have a number for him. I'm sure they're like, we'll pay him X amount of dollars. So go try out for him.
He did lead the team in tackles.
He led the team in tackles, but I liked the Kendricks, Murray, Sanborn combination at linebacker in Louisville.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a strong linebacker.
Best we've had in a while.
I feel like that too, because the linebacker's been weak for us for a long time. And
I agree.
If you guys get a chance, go watch some, and you probably already have, but go watch some Murray and Sanborn highlights. They stick the head in there
Oh yeah.
Sanborn, he got more snaps this year because Roquan Smith.
Roquan's gone.
He was gone, so he got.
Guy, I can't remember.
And they loved him over there.
Oh yeah.
They loved him, and I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be a star for us. Out of all the people they picked up so far in free agency, I'm liking Sanborn. I have high hopes
I like
for
Murray.
him. I like Murray too, but I have high hopes for that Sanborn kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Murray, he's the film I watched, he was pretty good in coverage too.
Yeah, he's all over the field time. He's got his head. He's watching that quarterback all the time.
He keeps his hips square to the quarterback. Yeah. If he ain't making a play, he's disturbing it.
Yeah, he's in there. Yeah,
because I seen on a running play, they ran up to off tackle. He didn't go to the off tackle, but he went up the middle and disturbed the play and made it. It was supposed to go up the middle, but
he pushed it outside.
Yeah, and they got him.
Yeah, and he did his job.
Yeah,
and that's where the big role of the linebackers is to fill your hole. You fill this hole, you fill this hole. Because if you can fill those two spots, somebody else has spots. Do your job. If everybody does their job, the defense good.
Yep.
Everybody does their job. Okay. Our 1B of positions we were looking at last week and was like, oh my goodness, this is horrible. Like I said, go back and watch the video, and if you never pull up a depth chart, you should pull one up a couple weeks ago because it looked abysmal. Now it's looking a little bit better.
Got a little facelift, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, all these guys aren't starters.
Yeah.
But they're pieces that
help. Yeah, better than what we had.
Yeah.
For sure. It's definitely up
there. They
there.
got their roles. Yeah.
So we picked up Williams and Sanders last night. I mean, they signed today, but they were talking about last night.
Depth chart.
He's on the depth chart. If you pull it up, he's on the depth chart. Sanders, Davis, and Vaughn. I'm not as high on them as I have these linebackers. But
Sanders he played for Philly and Denver.
Yeah.
And 1 year in Philly, he had 1,200 something yards.
Yeah. He can run. He can still play.
Yeah.
Last year he was behind Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah.
So he didn't get the carries. But in all honesty, in my opinion, is he's going to be third string anyway.
Behind Williams?
Huh? Yeah. I think he's going to be behind Williams. I think Williams is going to be our power guy.
Yeah, he's like, 5'10", 5'11", 220.
Yeah. I think he's going to be our power guy.
And, same height.
And he can run. He can run. If you want to look up Williams' stats, and I was talking about with this to Dustin earlier. You look up Rico Dowdle. What did Rico Dowdle do in the first part of the year when he was sharing time with Elliott? He wasn't doing that much. He was getting a few yards here and there. But when they decided Rico is the man and let Rico run and get his carries, 20 carries a game plus, or 15, 18, 20 carries, he was putting up yards.
Yeah.
Okay. If you go look at Williams' stats, last year's stats, pull up the game by game.
He shared a lot of time too.
Yeah, but if you pull up the game by game, because there's a couple games in there where I guess he was the number one back, because several games he was like 4 carries, 3 carries, 2, 5, and then there's like a string of 4 or 5 games where he was getting like 14 to 18 carries, and he was getting anywhere between 70 and 90 yards rushing. So he getting his feet and getting the rhythm.
Yeah,
you know, they get in the rhythm when they get more carries, they get more rhythm. Yeah,
and give them not so many. Like
yeah. So I feel like if Williams was to get some carries, which we'll talk about this here in just a second, he's going to be the number 2.
Yeah,
I feel like. But if he was to have to come into the game and be the lead back, if one of these two guys was, I feel like Williams is going to be the number 2 and filling for number 1. Now. We got Davis and Vaughn. They've had their chances. I don't think they're going to be practice squad dudes.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. Now, I don't think in the blue down here, which is free agency, and the red is draft. What people want to get in the draft. If you didn't watch our video last week, we kind of explained that. So let me explain that. This red here is the first 4, 5, 6 players, 7 players that we think are the best in the draft at these positions.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we were trying to figure out what we needed to do to upgrade these spots here across the board because we feel like these were our weakest links. So in the draft, our number one running back, he's going to come out of this draft. It's not going to be Williams. It's not going to be Sanders. It's going to be number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 2, number 3.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to run. So
but now
they're not going to get anybody else from free agency. So we wiped the Blues off the board. They're not going to go pick anybody else at running back.
No,
our running back room
I'd be surprised
is a lot stronger now than it was last year.
Yeah,
especially once they add one of these guys.
I don't know if they're going to go since they got them two. They may not go running back first pick.
They're not going to go running back first pick.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to go running back first pick. They're probably going to go second or third with running back. And Genty's not going to be there, so we can forget about him. If they go second round and pick a running back up in the second round, Hampton will probably be there. Maybe. But you got Johnson, Caleb Johnson, Henderson, Sampson, and Judkins. Any one of these 5 guys can be a starting running back. Number 1. Can be our number 1. So I'd be happy with we talked about this last week too. Johnson, I'm not real happy with Johnson, but because I don't like his highlight reel. He has a lot of highlights where he just got wide open runs.
Oh yeah,
it's like he don't even get touched. Don't even get touched. But that's not to say he still won't be a good running back.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of these, I feel like one of these 4 guys right here are going to be our starting running back. It's going to be Caleb Johnson, Henderson, Sampson, or Judkins. I'm not sure which order. Your Judkins and Johnson are 220 pounders. Henderson and Sampson are smaller, and they're more your speed guys. Williams is 220.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to go with and Sanders is a little smaller, but he's a speed guy.
2,
yeah,
5, 2, 2.
I'm thinking it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be one of these 4 guys right here. Okay.
Yeah, very possible.
Yeah, I would like to see. Judkins. Judkins is faster than Johnson, but even that kid from Tennessee, Sampson, he's a stud too.
Yeah,
he can run too. I'd be happy with any 4 of those guys, and I feel like that's what they'll do in the draft. But like we said, since they went free agency here and doubled up, I don't think they're going to go first round.
No,
with running back. I think they're going to go second or third.
Yeah.
When you go to second or third round, Hampton's not going to be available, and Johnson may not be available. But Henderson, Sampson, or Judkins, those 3 could be available. And there's several other running backs that can still run.
Yeah.
But this is our top 5 that we like. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to go to wide receiver. Now, wide receiver, we haven't picked nobody up. That is the only position that we felt like that we needed help in that they didn't go get and address in free agency.
Yeah.
So far.
Not yet.
So far. So we addressed, we picked up 2 in free agency at running back and 2 at linebacker, and then offensive line, cornerback, and edge, we picked up a free agent. And defensive line, we picked up free agent. Wide receiver is the only one. And that makes me think
draft.
That's what they're going to do in the first round. It depends on if they do anything between now and the draft. But I don't think there's going to be anything left. You got Diggs, which I'm not high on.
No.
That's available.
Allen.
I like Allen, but he's a little older too, I think. Maybe 29, something like that. And you got Cooper and Cup, and I've heard that we're out on Cup.
I've heard both.
I've heard both ways, but the last I heard was Cup no-go. And I'm not even 100% sure Cup is a good idea. I like Cup, but if the deal is to pick up Cup and not pick up one of these guys in the first round, then I would rather go would don't get cup and pick one of these guys.
Yeah, I would.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're younger, faster, smoother. You know, that's just what I feel like. So they may go get somebody in free agency for wide receiver, but I don't think it's going to be a big name guy.
I've heard maybe Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett. I mean, I like Tyler
There's
Lockett.
a couple.
Yeah, you got Lamb. This is what we have right now. We have Lamb, Mingo, Tolbert, Brooks, Turpin, and Cooks, but he's not in our depth chart.
He's not.
No, they don't have him on there. Not to say that they won't re-sign him, but as far as right now, if you look at our depth chart, he's gone. They're letting go. So that our starting wide receivers are going to be our Lamb, Tolbert, and Turpin.
That's
top three, and that's looking pretty slim right now, pretty grim.
Yeah.
It would be nice to add another receiver with some experience.
A veteran.
It'd be nice to do that. If it's not one of these, somebody else.
Yeah.
But in the draft, this is why I feel like they're going with the number one pick somewhere in the draft. If McMillan's available,
take him.
They're going to get him.
Yeah.
Just because they haven't addressed it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's their plan. Or they might even do Golden in the first round.
Yeah.
I'm not as high on Golden. I'm a Texas fan.
Yeah.
But I'm not as high on Golden as McMillan. And I like Burden. He was like
the first of the year though. Back, he was talking about being number one.
Yeah.
And
yeah. For a while now, Burden was like, oh, we're going to get Burden at number 12, and then for all you guys that don't know, I'm not a big, and Dustin really isn't either, a big fan of these mock drafts.
Yeah.
Because I've done them.
This is somebody
like and I've done them on the computer. Okay? And I put them up there, and I thought, we'll do a little mock draft and look at it. Every time you hit start on a new one, it's a whole different deal.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, you look at the remaining names, like, there's no way this guy's going to be there.
Yeah.
So they're inaccurate.
Yeah.
They're fun to do, and I understand why people like to watch them because it gets your hopes up. Oh, that guy's going to be available on this one. Probably not.
I guess in the last few years, people that did mock drafts predicted who the Cowboys were going to pick. They never
hit it.
Not in the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, no, I agree. So in wide receiver room, I would like to see him go first round with McMillan if he's available.
Yeah.
And these two here, I'm up in the air on. I like his speed.
Yeah.
But I like this guy. I think I like Burden better than I do Golden. I feel like I do. I don't know why. I've watched his highlights, and Golden wasn't like your number one guy in Texas.
No.
So why would he be?
Isaiah
Bond.
Yeah.
So I like any three of these guys: McMillan, Golden, Burden, Ibuka, and Trey Harris. We like those 5 folks right there to bolster our wide receiver room. But we're going to need more than one of these.
Oh yeah.
We need one of these and another late rounder. It can be good, So in our wide receiver room, I'm hoping for it to be Lamb, McMillan,
Turpin,
and Turpin or Tolbert. I like Turpin's speed, though. Yeah. But it takes away a lot of. Lamb likes to run a lot from the slot.
Yeah.
And
that's good.
And Turpin is.
He's a gadget guy.
But he's not a wide out.
No.
Type of receiver. He needs to be in the slot as well.
Yeah.
So, but Millen can run from the outside. He's big enough, tall enough, fast enough.
I like big, tall receivers.
Yeah, me too. I do too. Our defensive line. So when it comes to defensive line, we have Osa, we have Mozzie, and we have Rogers. We had somebody else here, and I can't remember who it was that I erased. We lose somebody off the defensive line?
We lost. Oh, they're more edge with D-Law and Chauncey Golston.
And Golston, yeah, their edge. So anyway, on our defensive line, we had them last week listed as 2A and 2B. Wide receiver was number 3. So as far as it was running back, it was linebacker, running back, defensive line, cornerback as what we needed help with. And we went and got Solomon Thomas.
I don't know much about him.
I don't know a whole lot about the dude. You can watch some stuff on him. He's not bad. I mean, I think he's solid.
What we got?
Yeah, I think he's solid. We're going to need some more help. I would like to see him if we could find somebody in free agency, which I don't know of any major ones available right now.
No.
That Dallas is going to spend the money on to pick up. That he's definitely helpful. And you got Mozzie and Rodgers, and in the draft they got Graham, Nolan, Grant, Jackson, the defensive end or defensive line and edge, and Harmon from Oregon. I would like they're going to need to pick up one of these 5 guys, and I'm not sure if you go first round or second round running back, first round wide receiver, who these guys. You might have a Harmon available in the 3rd round, but I doubt it. But they definitely need some help in this area. And if they don't get any help in this area, then we need to add another linebacker to that second line of defense type thing. But like I said, we don't know a whole lot about Solomon Thomas. He's from the Jets. I know that. He played well. I think he had 3.5 sacks.
Something like that.
Last year. He's no slouch, that's for sure. He can play.
Yeah.
So
I think we need to add some cornerback now. I mean, we got added Elam, but
our next week we thought was cornerback, which we got Diggs, which they're talking. We still don't know if they're going to trade him or let him go. Or I don't think they can let him go. He can't. He's still under contract.
It'd be
a trade. And I really and truly, from what we have, we're stronger with him. He's not strong in the run. I know that.
No.
But he's decently strong at coverage. We have Aurorier and Booth, Bland, Carson I like, and Bland I like. We have Butler, and then we got the new guy from Buffalo.
What I've seen in film on him, he makes a lot of solo tackles.
Yeah, he's a hitter. He's going to come up there and hit, which is what we need.
He was a first-round draft pick when he came out of college, first-round draft pick. He was supposed to have been the best corner in the draft. He played for Florida. And maybe he didn't shine because maybe the scheme may run.
Yeah.
It could be different. Maybe he might come to Dallas and be a Pro Bowler. You know?
Yeah, and don't we still have, what's his name is our cornerback coach?
I think he
did he leave?
Harris.
Did he leave?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember if he left or not. Put in the comments if he left. Remind us.
He might have left. I'm not sure.
Because if he's still here, he could coach him up pretty good. He does really well with that. But with Elam, like he said, which gets put in the right scheme, the right spot, he can be somebody. He'll definitely hit you.
Yeah.
He don't have a problem with stepping up and hitting, and I like that better than I do Diggs. I don't think he's better than Diggs, and I don't think he's better than Bland. But we lost
Jordan
Lewis. So we lost Lewis. We need a nickel corner.
Yeah.
And we need an outside corner, or if you let Bland play nickel and put Elam outside, it could go either way. I figure that if this is our lineup on day one, then we're going to have Diggs on one side, possibly Elam on the other, and Bland at nickel.
Yeah.
I like Bland at nickel.
He's good.
Yeah. And that's where he did all his damage.
Getting them interceptions?
Yeah. With that, he bounced outside some too, but either one of these two could swap out one way or the other, I'm assuming. But he's a hitter.
Yeah.
They picked a free agent up, so I don't figure they're going to go after anybody else in free agency at corner. I don't even know of anybody else in free agency at corner that's worth picking up. In the draft, you got Hunter, Johnson, Barrow, Revel, whatever his name is, from East Carolina, Morrison from Notre Dame, and then Harrison. And he was the fastest guy in the draft.
Yeah, I heard they were looking at him.
Yeah. So they may be looking at one of these guys, but these guys are early guys. Maybe third round. This might stretch down to the third round.
Yeah.
But it all depends on what's available when it comes time to draft. You know what I'm saying? And it also comes like if I don't think, but if for some reason Graham's available, they're gonna get him.
He won't be there though.
And then you're gonna end up seeing a Ibuka or a Trey Harris maybe in the third round, probably more Trey Harrison down, and then you're gonna end up with like a Sampson or somebody else down here it's gonna be fourth round top stuff. We didn't have a fourth round pick.
I don't know.
We got 10 picks.
Well, we traded some.
We got 10 left. We got 10.
We had 3 in the 5th round, I think.
Yeah, we got 4.
That's some ASAC comps.
We had 4, then we turned it through. We got 3 comp picks.
Yeah.
We got 4 comp picks, 3 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at cornerback, one of our weakest links, we're looking at Diggs, Carson, Elam as our starting corner.
Bland.
Diggs, Bland, and Elam as our combination of, I don't know how they're going to play them, or probably our combination of what they're going to do there.
Who would have got edge or O-line next?
Oh, we'll go, let's go edge.
Edge.
Yeah.
I like the edge. I mean, Parsons, if you're going to keep him on the edge, or you going to put him at linebacker, I don't know if he's a new guy.
I think he's mainly going to stay edge.
And Nealon, he might be okay. Williams I think he's going to be a starter.
I didn't like what Lawrence said.
No.
I'm not happy about Lawrence.
No.
I hope we beat the dog walking crap out of them.
Yeah.
Next time we play them.
Micah fired back at him.
He's pissed. Yeah, he's pissed off at him.
Fish.
Yeah, that's ridiculous to talk like that about this team. But you know what? There's probably some truth to it too.
Yeah.
What he saw goes on in the locker room and things like that. By saying that we're going to win a Super Bowl there anyway.
Oh, he didn't know brotherhood.
He knows something. Either that or nobody liked him and he just felt like an outsider.
Parsons went off on him though.
Yeah, he did.
He's just mad. He wasn't as good.
He's a clown. A clown. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he fired back at him and said something about, well, if you're not tweeting all the time, pay more attention to something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyway, forget about it. He's gone.
Yeah.
But our starting edges, as of right now, are Parsons,
Williams,
and maybe Williams or Turner.
Peyton Turner, the new guy. I haven't watched much.
Turner from the Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nealon could be, but if we start at the edges today, I would assume it would be Parsons and Turner would be our 2
over
edges.
Williams. Turner over Williams?
I don't know. If Williams may even make it out of training camp before he gets hurt or arrested.
Yeah.
So if you're going by what's going on in the past, it's going to be Parsons and Turner, and he's probably either going to be in the hospital or jail. One or the other. I like him though.
Yeah, he's good.
When he plays.
Yeah.
He's with his hair on fire. I wish he'd just get some, sense about him and start playing some football.
Well, you already forget about him. No.
Yeah, Carter's gone.
You might be looking down in here.
Yeah, and all of these, all of these across here are probably first and second round picks.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2 might slide to a third. So it all depends on where we go. If we could get 3 players off of these people here, a first, a second, and a third. Three of these guys, I don't know, Henderson and McMillan and Booker or Harrison or Green somewhere on the bottom line, I feel like that our depth chart will look a lot better.
Yeah,
look a lot better. But you're not going to fill these guys in. You're not going to get one of these people on red in every one of these positions.
No,
that ain't going to happen. You might get 3 of what do we got? About 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. About 35 players here. You may get 3 of them.
maybe.
You may get 3 of them. So depends on which 3.
Yeah.
Hoping we get the right 3. So like we said, Parsons going to be our edge. Turner's probably going to be the other edge.
I imagine that if they're smart, they'll move Parsons around.
Yeah. He could be on either side.
Either side, up the middle.
Yeah. I like this Pierce Jr. and I like this Green guy.
I heard they're looking at him.
Yeah, I like him too.
Marshall.
Yeah, he's from Marshall. He's good.
Yeah.
He can play. So that's what it looks like as of right now.
Yeah.
And then the last one we got is offensive line. And our offensive line, other than fill-in guys and rotational pieces, wasn't horrible. It was pretty much the same thing as it was last year.
Yeah.
With Guyton, Smith, BB, Hoffman, and Steele.
He may not be there.
We don't know Hubster's about Steele, but he's still on the board on our deal.
Depth chart.
Yeah. So we'll see about that. But we went and added on Jones from Miami. And dude's a dog.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of film on him. I say a lot. I've watched several things on him. And he gets after it. He can play. And on the depth chart, if you look it up, it's actually got Jones ahead of Hoffman at right guard.
John, I watched the film on him when he put old Clark in the.
He put Clark in the dirt. He took him all the way up the field, down the field, back to the line of scrimmage, and then laid on top of him. Yeah. And he's good at pulling.
Yeah.
He'll come out and he'll hit you. I didn't see a lot of bad stuff on him. He started for Miami last year. I think it was due to injuries, but he started and he played solid.
That's good.
He played solid last year.
That's good.
So, anyway, so we picked him up, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's not your starting right guard this year.
I'd be good with that right now.
Yeah.
This is what we got.
I can go with Hoffman, too. I like Hoffman.
Yeah.
Hoffman played well last year. Yeah. After Martin went out, he played well. He played good. You got to look at Rico Dowdle's rushing yards. The majority of it was at the end of the year when Hoffman was playing guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they played pretty well. They started coming together. But I like Jones. I'm not down on him. I think he was a great pickup.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I don't see anything wrong with any of the pickups that we got.
As far as what I think as the people we had and to the people we have now, we got better.
We most definitely got better.
Got better. We didn't get worse or stay the same.
Yeah.
We
moved forward.
Yeah.
I think we could use a little more help here. I'm not 100% sure about this Solomon Thomas dude. I mean, he's got decent film work, but you can if you've been playing, I can put 10 or 12 plays together that you did good on all year.
Yeah.
What'd you do the other 200 plays?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like we could use more help here. So if we was to go back, Dustin, and re-rank this, okay, last week we said linebackers
I think
and running backs were our 2 worst.
That's where we improved the most.
We improved the most there. And then the second one, we felt that defensive line and corner were kind of tied at number 2 and 2A, 2B. And then we went with wide receiver was the next worst, and then edge, and then offensive line. We haven't done anything here.
They're going to, I think.
So, yeah, I think so too. But I think that if we was to re-rank things, this is our number 1 weakest link at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Because we haven't changed anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like that defensive line
I was going to say
would be number 2, as our next weakest link because we may have done a little bit here, but we can still need some help.
And then probably corner.
Yeah, then corner, I feel like. I want to say edge next.
And
then offensive line, and then these two, linebacker and running back, as our last ones, kind of tied as our weakest link. So, wide receiver number one, we need to work on this. This is what Jerry needs to work on. Jerry, if you're watching,
yeah,
you and your brother and your son, I know you watched us last week.
You and Steven.
So, you and Steven need to work right here at wide receiver because that's our weakest link on the field. I feel like that, yeah. And then what we said was number two?
D-line.
D-line number two. We did a little bit of something, but not a lot.
No.
Yeah. And then kind of goes out from there. Edge, we need some help. These are the three spots we need to focus on to upgrade a little bit, but I don't think they need to be that way in the draft. I think we need to go number one in the draft.
Yeah.
Number two in the draft. 3, 4.
Yeah.
Or 3, 4, one or the other. Yeah.
I agree.
Well, anyway, that's what we got. We'll see how things work out. We want to start putting out a few more videos every week. We have to have a different setup. Our setup is not ideal. We have to drive over here to this place, and we can't breaking news type stuff that we would like to do.
We'll be able to.
Before the season starts next year, we'll have a new computer set up with some. We'll be able to put stats up and things like that. Be a whole different channel, so you guys hang on, just stay with us.
We're going to upgrade.
Yeah, we're going to upgrade. We're getting there. It just takes us time, and so anyway, watch last week's video, and then it doesn't matter if you just fast forward it all the way to the end and hit pause, take note of who we had last week, and then go to this week's video and look at the difference, and you'll be able to tell visually, like, hey, we improved.
Yeah.
We improved this year. We improved so far.
Yeah.
And we ain't hit the draft yet, so.
Nope.
A whole lot better than last year. We didn't pick up hardly anybody at all last year. It was horrible. I was so pissed off last year with people just flying off the charts, and we're just sitting there watching. Jerry's on his yacht. Yeah, it just pissed me off more than anything. Anyway, so anyway, go to our videos, watch them, check the last week's video out, look at the difference in the depth chart. I like to see it visually. I'm a visual person, so I like to see like what change is. I like to see with my eyes. That's why we like to do these videos like this. I like to see what it is and like to write it down and look at it. And a lot of people ain't like that, but no. I am. I like that. Yeah. So I learn more and retain more that way. Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys for watching the Blue Star Report. Don't forget, new name. And we're going to put out another video next week. Hopefully we can set something up where we can do some breaking news type stuff. Like I said, maybe starting next week or before the draft for sure. Yeah. Maybe I'd like to have a live draft video. I think it'd be cool. That'd be cool. I might not have anybody watching it, but it'd still be cool. Yeah. We got to learn how to do that stuff. Anyway, that's all we got. So please like and subscribe. Get in the comments. Tell us what you guys think, where we might need some help, or where you think we're strong or weak. And we will see you guys again next week.